Springtrap can completely lock down survivors if you know how to use his abilities correctly. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to dominate lobbies with him. Instead of explaining what his abilities do, I'll focus on how to properly use them to win more games on Springtrap. To master Springtrap, the first thing you need to understand is his capabilities. Springtrap has the potential to completely lock down sides of the map and zone survivors in poor positions. His best maps are Pizzeria and Warehouse. In order to master Springtrap, you need to know the difference between good and bad trap placement. Good trap placement forces survivors into bad situations. They either get trapped or are pushed into a bad spot, like this dead end on the Pizzeria map. Bad trap placement can be easily avoided and doesn't keep pressure on survivors. Random traps or heavily spread out traps are examples of bad placement. Since you only have 3 traps, bad placement can sell you the game because you lose pressure running across the map to disarm traps. Think of it like this: your trap should always have a purpose. If you don't know where to trap, think about where survivor resources are and cut them off. On Warehouse, a gen usually spawns in these rooms, and survivors love looping here, so I always trap this area at the start of the match. Keeping your traps close together makes them more effective and easier to retrieve if you need to disarm them. That doesn't mean stacking all 3 traps in the exact same spot. So to summarize, if you can't think of a good reason to place a trap, then you probably shouldn't. The next ability I'll cover is his axe throw, Remnant Cleaver. Before learning how to use it, you need to learn why to use it. I use his axe throw in one of 2 ways. I'm either trying to hit a survivor, or I'm trying to cycle into my scream ability. After you throw your axe, you gain your scream and charge ability. If your goal is to cycle your scream ability, you should throw your axe into the ground or somewhere nearby. This is the fastest way to get rid of your axe. For actually hitting the survivor with your axe, I recommend using shift lock. This is a more consistent measurement for aiming. Before throwing your axe, you need to consider 2 things. First is the drop off. In most situations, you'll need to aim slightly above the survivor to land the hit. The second thing is where the survivor is going to be. Because it's a ranged ability, you have to predict where the survivors are headed. Over time, you'll begin to notice common survivor behaviors and predict their movements more often. After using your axe throw, Springtrap has a scream ability. It gives you some stamina back, but most importantly, it reveals the aura of survivors while blinding them. The closer you are to a survivor when you scream, the blinder they are. After setting up my traps, I throw my axe so I can use my scream ability and find survivors. In the middle of a chase, I wait for my stamina to get low before I scream, because it gives me some stamina back. After you scream, you unlock his charge ability. Because it drains so much stamina, I only use it when I'm close to a survivor. His charge is really hard to control because of how sharp it is to turn. Instead of trying to chase survivors directly, I try to cut them off with the charge ability. After you grab them with charge, follow up with a basic attack. Hitting their ragdoll body only does 5 damage. It's better if you wait for them to stand up before attacking. Now let me show you the results of following all these tips. By walking, this guy makes it super obvious that he wants to parry me. By being patient, I'm able to get 2 hits on him. He's running to one of the strongest loops and my trap cooldown is coming back. Notice how while I'm placing a trap, I'm looking to see where survivors are. He was already low, so I baited his parry by jerking my camera. The reason I picked up my axe after missing was because I needed to trap more loops. You can only access your traps when you have your axe out. This guy was my teammate last round, so I already knew what he was gonna do. He wanted to parry me after I broke the door down. Baiting out their abilities makes fighters completely useless. And then he just left. I don't know where the survivors are, so I cycle into my scream ability. I was able to land my charge because I cut her off. started LMS off by trapping this door. She made the mistake of not leaving this area, so I also trapped her exit. This play basically guaranteed me the win. She took my ankles here, so I had to use my scream to find her. When fighters get cornered, they like to parry. Once again, being patient gave me a free hit. In this game on Pizzeria, I want you to pay attention to my trap placement. I immediately cycled into my scream ability. I knew if I went for the survivor and ball pit, I could guarantee an early kill. Even though I killed him and he left the game, I left the trap here to stop survivors from working on that gen. I also trapped the battery to delay survivors from completing objectives. Notice how I tried to cut the door off instead of chasing him directly. I'm constantly keeping pressure on the survivors. I have 2 kills and they haven't completed any objectives yet. I wanted to be near survivors before I screamed. I think my brain lagged because I didn't know you could throw them into a trap. The office is one of the worst loops against Springtrap. I took advantage of him being here by trapping both exits. When the door finally opened, I knew he was cooked. Anyways, if this video helped you and you found it entertaining, like and subscribe for more Bite by Night content. If this video gets 100 likes, I'll make a guide on how to counter Springtrap next. With all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching till the end of this video, and peace out.